Trump considers joining Russia-Ukraine peace talks. Can Trump stop the war?
US President Donald Trump has expressed interest in potentially joining a round of peace talks between Russia and Ukraine in Turkey later this week. Speaking at a press conference on May 12th, one day after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced his intention to travel to Istanbul and expressed willingness to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin to revive peace negotiations, Trump stated that discussions in Turkey could yield positive results. He also did not rule out the possibility of being present in Istanbul on May 15th, as he is currently on a diplomatic tour of 3 Middle Eastern countries, including Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. "I have many meetings lined up, but I'm seriously considering flying there. If I feel there's a real chance to accomplish something, I won't miss this opportunity." AFP quoted Trump as saying before departing for his second overseas trip since beginning his second term in January. He emphasized, "Don't underestimate the May 15th meeting in Turkey." According to Russia's RT, Ukrainian President Zelensky welcomed Trump's idea of traveling to Turkey and joining the talks. Zelensky described it as a wise idea and reiterated his readiness to meet President Putin in person. However, in a video address later that evening, Zelensky said Moscow had yet to respond to the proposal for a direct meeting in Turkey. "Moscow has not yet responded to the invitation," Zelensky stated. Diplomatic negotiations on the Ukraine issue appear to be regaining momentum. Previously, President Zelensky and Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey had discussed the possibility of hosting direct peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, which Zelensky said could be the key to ending the war. Erdogan also described it as an opportunity that should not be missed. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov held a phone call with his Turkish counterpart Hakan Fidan regarding the possible meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky on May 15th. However, the Russian Foreign Ministry's statement did not confirm whether Putin had accepted the proposal. Also on May 12th, the German government announced that Europe would begin preparing new sanctions if Russia refused to comply with the proposed 30-day ceasefire. "Time is running out," a German government spokesperson warned during a press briefing in Berlin. In contrast, Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova criticized the European ceasefire proposal, claiming it was aimed at giving Kyiv time to regroup militarily and continue its confrontation with Russia. 2 days earlier, on May 10th, leaders of 4 major European powers visited Kyiv and called for an unconditional 30-day ceasefire starting from May 15th. Instead of agreeing, President Putin proposed direct talks in Istanbul, which he said could potentially lead to a ceasefire. Presidents Putin and Zelensky have not met since December 2019, prior to the launch of Russia's special military operation in Ukraine. In response to the ceasefire proposal, Russia stated it was open to ending the conflict, but criticized European powers for using confrontational rhetoric. Both Russia and Ukraine are seeking to demonstrate goodwill toward peace, while simultaneously blaming each other for obstructing former US President Donald Trump's mediation efforts. According to the General Staff of Ukraine, as of 10 p.m. on May 10th, there had been 133 clashes with Russian forces since the proposed ceasefire was supposed to take effect at midnight. President Zelensky, quoting Ukraine's top commander, General Oleksandr Syrsky, said the most intense fighting is currently taking place in the Donetsk region on the Eastern Front, as well as in Russia's western Kursk region, which witnessed a cross-border attack by Ukrainian forces 9 months ago. Viktor Trehubov, a Ukrainian military spokesperson on the Eastern Front, confirmed that fighting is continuing at roughly the same intensity as before the ceasefire.